because as we were just talking about a moment ago with Alan, after one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
I must admit, I'm at a loss.
The same way you piece of trash white liberals used the deceased bodies of black men to push your agenda. Anytime one of them gets killed by a police officer, you know what I mean? Like, they're always talking about themselves when they speak. They're always talking about themselves. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. No intro. We're not going to do all that. As many of you know, breaking news. Charlie Kirk has been shot. I released my video earlier. I had made reference to Charlie Kirk in the video when I was reading one of his tweets. My comment section, started to get somewhat overwhelmed with Charlie Kirk is shot. I looked it up, and obviously, as you all know, it's true. It's true. At this moment right now, as I'm recording this video at 1:01 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles, he's in critical condition still in this moment. But that's at the time that I'm recording this. If he survives, it will be nothing short of a miracle. Because obviously I'm not going to play the video of the shooting here. I'm not going to do that, nor will I, shop it around or share it anywhere. But if you saw it, it was extremely disturbing, and just wow. He clearly got shot in the neck, and the amount of blood that was gushing out of his neck is like I was telling my friend Rob. We all know Rob from BLR2, Black Light Revelations 2. I was talking to him on the phone before I started recording this video. The amount of blood gushing from his neck was the equivalent of a broken water pipe. It was just coming out in such an absurd gushing fashion, right? It wasn't leaking. It wasn't dripping. It wasn't like a little stream. It was just, imagine just taking a wrench to the bottom of your sink, and just hitting the pipe or hitting the main water main and watching water just whoosh everywhere. That's how the blood looked coming out of his neck. So like I said, if he does survive, it would definitely be a miracle, and prayers to him and his family. I already know that many of you are going to hop in the comment section, with a lot of kind of nasty remarks because you don't like Charlie Kirk, right? He's somebody that a lot of people obviously love, and he's somebody that a lot of people obviously do not love, right? People are going to be talking about how he's racist or whatever. And I mean, I'll just say this to you this much at the end of the day. There's a lot of people that I don't like, right? Especially a lot of your favorite YouTubers that I think are, quite stupid and spew a lot of vile nonsense. I don't want to see a video of them on Twitter with blood gushing out of their neck. You know what I mean? So if it's possible for you to be human for a moment in the comment section, that would be nice. That would be nice. And remember, like, just because you don't like somebody, it doesn't mean that they deserve to die. That's not what that means, right? Just because you don't like their rhetoric doesn't mean they deserve to lose their life. And I don't think Charlie Kirk deserves to get shot, and hopefully he doesn't lose his life. He has 2 children. He's married. He's a young guy. Losing your life over a disagreement in politics is completely absurd. But so now what I want to do next is I want to play this clip here. This clip is from somebody who was actually at the event, witnessed what happened. They spoke, on Fox News. So I want to play this for you guys right now.
Well, there's, it's a good crowd. A lot of people were chanting his name. I was there. My daughter was there. Son-in-law's there. My wife was there. I mean, Charlie Kirk coming to town. We were excited, and people were there, and there were lots of them. And he came out. He was throwing hats, riling up the crowd. he took his first question, which was, I have to catch my breath trying to run into the house
Take
here.
your time.
He took a first question, which was a religious question. And then he got to the second question, which was about 30 minutes into his presentation, 2:30 local time. And the question was about transgender shooters, mass killings, versus people that weren't transgender. And when that happened, when that question came out, and he's going to have the interaction, one shot. I was watching Charlie. I can't say that I saw blood. I can't say that I saw him get hit, but I did see him fall immediately backwards into his left. And I can just hope and pray that somehow he survived that.
My God, we're all praying. He's married to his wife, Erica, for 4 years now. Jason, obviously, you're visibly very emotional, obviously, having just witnessed this. Married to Erica for 4 years, 2 children, a son and a daughter. All we can do is pray right now until we get an update on what exactly happened here and his condition, although there are reports that he was ushered off by his security team and if shot, obviously, hoping he's getting immediate medical help.
Like they said, man, the guy has a family. You know what I mean? So, nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. But something that is deserved. MSNBC at this point just needs to be taken off the air. These people, man, God, oh my goodness. These people are demonic. And, I know we say stuff like that all the time. Oh, they're demons, they're devils, they're demonic. I just don't know what other name you could put on it. Because they've already just turned it into I'm just going to play it for you, man. These people are despicable. They're despicable. Let's check out this clip. I got 2 relatively short clips, really short clips from MSNBC. So let's play this stupid stuff next.
Talk to me about the environment in which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up with what
Democrats are the most garbage people on the planet. I'll play the rest of it in a moment. When I first heard the clip, I didn't even get past that part. So I don't know what else he's going to say from there, but that was more than enough. We don't know if it was somebody who was celebrating in the crowd and was just shooting their gun. I mean, how much of a piece of stool do you have to be? And if you guys remember, they did the same thing with Trump. Remember the assassination attempt on Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania? They refused to acknowledge the fact that he got shot. I remember it was the oddest thing and the craziest thing in the world. We all remember. The news were saying, the liberal outlets, they were saying, we don't know if it was fireworks, it sounded like firecrackers, we're not sure. There were popping sounds. They wouldn't say gunshots. Remember, they were saying popping sounds. Popping noises were heard. They sounded like fireworks. And it was just like, what are you talking about? Like, the man, fortunately for all of us, got up with blood all on his face and stuff like that. And you're saying popping noises? We're not sure if he got shot. It sounded like fireworks. What are you talking about? And these people are beyond disgusting. They're beyond disgusting, man. But I'll let it carry on. Let's take it from the top.
Talk to me about the environment in which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
The only hateful actions that we've seen the moment Donald Trump got into office have come from liberals. They have come from liberals constantly, from multiple assassination attempts. What looks like could be a successful one with this one. multiple Tesla dealerships being burnt down to the ground, literally being shot up. You have idiot liberals like this guy here running around here, keying other people's Teslas. They're rioting against ICE. They're fighting with the police. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking? And where does all that come from? From the rhetoric that they continue to spew. How many times these people are like World War II experts now? They only compare Trump, the right, MAGA, and any of his supporters to being Hitler and Nazis, and that apparently this is the Fourth Reich here in the U.S. And ICE troops are marching through the streets, kidnapping people, right? These masked men, as they like to say, and the rhetoric that they put out there is so inflammatory, is so dangerous. And like I used to say so many times pre-election, the people who are screaming misinformation, disinformation the most, the people who are screaming dangerous rhetoric, and that's harmful rhetoric, the people that were screaming it the most were the ones who are actually engaging in it the most. And the people who are claiming that they were fighting for our freedoms are the very people, and it comes from a very political party, that is the one that's committing all the violence that we've seen thus far since Trump has gotten to office. And the only thing retards like him are going to turn around and say, what about January 6th? January 6th? What about January 6th? These people are vile, man. Like I said, I don't know what else to say other than wicked demons. I just don't know what else to say. All the violence has come from their side. All of the violence, all of it, all of the gunshots, all of it has come from their side. The burning down of stores and rioting and looting and destruction of property, all of it, beating up on federal officers, all of it has come from their side. They are always projecting any and every time they open their mouth to speak on anything that has to do with the quote right, they are always talking about themselves. It's sickening. Let's listen to the rest of this. This is crazy.
And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
What awful words and awful actions? These people, man. We got one more clip here. Let's get into.
Because as we were just talking about a moment ago with Alan, after one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
I must admit, I'm at a loss.
The same way you piece of trash white liberals used the deceased bodies of black men to push your agenda. Anytime one of them gets killed by a police officer, you know what I mean? Like, they're always talking about themselves when they speak. They're always talking about themselves. And it's always them doing exactly what they were pretending to warn everybody else about. Look at this here. We're gonna round this out, bring this to a close. Apparently, this is the culprit right here, man. Check this clip out. It's this old, white liberal guy that they were arresting right after the shooting occurred. So let's check this out. So some old crazed and deranged boomer. I'll make a full screen for you guys. What a retard. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think this is another clip that I have here of him being like taken away. Let me see this.
The guy that just shot him.
This is the guy that shot him?
Unreal, man. Unreal and unbelievable. So yeah, man, that's it appears that this is the guy here. This is the idiot here that did that. Like I said, man, at the end of the day, you can feel what you want and think what you want about the guy. I feel the same way about a lot of the people that you listen to. Once again, I don't want anybody to not go home to their family at the end of the day, right? I don't want to see any video clips of them bleeding profusely from any part of their body, you know, where we're debating and wondering whether or not they're going to make it and saying that, man, if they do, it's going to be a miracle because did you see the video? Oh, man, it was blood gushing everywhere. It was horrible. There's a bunch of people that I don't like. And a bunch of people that I think are talk just complete vile nonsense. And even the people that are on MSNBC that are speaking the vile nonsense that they're speaking, I still don't want to see them suffer the same fate, as disgusting as they are. I think they should just go away. I think that whole state should just be taken down. I think they should be fired and never allowed to work in media ever again. But do I want to see what happened to them? What happened to Charlie Kirk happen to them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I mean, while I'm recording, I'm gonna just do one more check. If there's any actual updates on him, you know, if he made it or not. And yeah, I'm looking right now. In the moment, there is no new update on whether or not he made it. For now, in this moment, like I said, as I'm recording now, it's 1:18 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I guess he's still in critical condition. Like I said, if he makes it, it's nothing short of a miracle, and hopefully he does. Like I said, I don't wish that on anybody at all. So with all that being said, thank you guys for joining me. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.